Commander Park Ji-won stood at the main window of Earth Defense Command, his eyes fixed on the night sky. The stars looked peaceful, but he knew better. Among those distant lights, alien ships were coming. They would arrive in less than 2 days. "Commander, we have the latest report," said Captain Yoon, walking up beside him. She handed him a tablet showing the path of the alien fleet. Park nodded, his face serious as he studied the screen. 27 ships, all heading straight for us. "Yes, sir. The Talek aren't trying to hide their approach. They want us to see them coming." The Talek hegemony had conquered 17 star systems in the last 50 years. Now they had set their sights on Earth. Most of the galaxy thought humans were easy targets. Earth had no official space fleet, no defense satellites, no allies among the stars. At least that's what everyone believed. "Have they sent any more messages?" Park asked. "Just the same demand. Surrender or be destroyed. They're giving us 48 hours to decide." Park handed the tablet back to his captain. "They're so confident they think we're defenseless." "Let them think that," Yoon said with a small smile. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean in a facility that didn't exist on any official map, Chief Engineer Han Ji-soo performed final checks on the massive ship that filled the underwater hangar. The Dreadnought Thunderbolt had been sleeping here for 15 years, waiting for the day it might be needed. Han hoped that day would never come, but now it seemed inevitable. Her comm unit beeped. "Engineering, this is Han," she answered. "Chief, this is Control. You have new orders from Commander Park. Begin wake-up sequence on Thunderbolt. Authorization code, Black Star Rising." Han felt her heart beat faster. This wasn't a drill. "Confirmed, Control. Black Star Rising. Starting wake-up sequence now." She turned to her team of 20 engineers who were watching her with wide eyes. They all knew what those codes meant. "It's time," she told them. "Wake the giant." The team moved quickly to their stations. Lights began to glow along the massive hull of the ship. Thunderbolt was over 1 kilometer long, shaped like a spear, with 4 great wings at its rear. Its outer hull was black and seemed to absorb the light around it. Han walked to the main power control and placed her hand on the scanner. "Computer, this is Chief Engineer Han Ji-soo. Authorization, Phoenix 7. Begin primary power activation." The computer's voice responded, "Identity confirmed. Beginning power activation." Deep within the ship, something ancient and powerful began to stir. The dark matter core, technology reverse-engineered from a crashed alien ship found in Antarctica 30 years ago, hummed to life. Blue light pulsed through the veins of the ship. "All systems responding," reported one of the engineers. "Core, stability at 98% and rising." Han nodded. "Begin full system diagnostics. I want this ship ready to launch in 12 hours. In a different facility beneath Mount Pektu, Admiral Kim Hee-jin watched as her crew prepared Dreadnought Volcano for launch. Similar scenes were playing out at 5 other secret locations around the world. Hurricane in the Atlantic, tsunami beneath the Indian Ocean, earthquake in the Sahara Desert, avalanche in Antarctica, lightning on the dark side of the moon. 7. Dreadnoughts. Earth's secret fleet, built over decades while the rest of the galaxy thought humans were still figuring out how to leave their own solar system. "Admiral, all crew are reporting to their stations," her second-in-command informed her. "Estimated time to full combat readiness is 14 hours. "Make it 10, Kim ordered. "The Talek will be in our orbit in less than 48 hours. "Yes, Admiral." Kim had spent 25 years of her life preparing for this moment. When the first alien scout ship had crashed on Earth, revealing the existence of a hostile galaxy, world leaders had made a crucial decision. Instead of announcing themselves to the stars, humans would watch and learn. They would salvage alien technology, study it, improve it, and build their own fleet in secret. Now that long silence was about to end. At United Earth headquarters in IDCR, Geneva, Chief Diplomat Lee Yun-soo was preparing to meet with the Talek ambassador. It would be humanity's first official contact with an alien species, though not their first encounter. Remember, said President Choi. We need to buy time. Stall them as long as possible while our ships prepare to launch. Lee nodded. I understand, Madam President. I'll make sure the ambassador leaves believing we're considering their offer. The Talak have conquered every world they've encountered, President Choi reminded her. Their ambassador will expect us to be afraid, confused, maybe even honored by their attention. Play to those expectations. I will, Lee promised. She straightened her formal jacket and checked her appearance one last time in the mirror. First impressions mattered, even with aliens who planned to conquer your world. The Talak ambassador arrived in a small shuttle that landed in the designated area outside the United Nations building. Security teams stood at attention, instructed, to show respect but also strength. The shuttle door opened, revealing a tall figure with blue-gray skin and 4 arms. The Talak wore ornate armor that gleamed in the sunlight, and its face had no nose, just breathing slits on the sides of its elongated head. I am Crozan, voice of the Talak hegemony, the alien announced in perfect English. The translator device on its chest glowed as it spoke. I come bearing the generous terms of your surrender. Lee stepped forward with a welcoming smile. Ambassador Crozan, I am Lee Yunsu, Chief Diplomat of United Earth. We are honored by your visit and look forward to discussing these terms. The Talak seemed surprised by her calm demeanor. There is little to discuss. Your primitive world has 2 choices: join the hegemony as servants or be destroyed as obstacles. Nevertheless, Lee replied smoothly, our leaders would like to fully understand what joining the hegemony would mean for our people. Won't you come inside? We've prepared refreshments and a comfortable place to talk. The Talak hesitated, then nodded. Very well. I will explain the inevitability of your situation in more detail. As they walked toward the building, Lee's comm unit vibrated silently against her wrist. A message from Defense Command Dreadnoughts Awakening maintained diplomatic contact. Lee smiled at the alien beside her. We have many questions about life among the stars. I hope you can spare several hours to satisfy our curiosity. Your world has hours remaining, not days, Crozan replied coldly. Our fleet approaches. Then we should make good use of the time. We have, Lee said, gesturing the ambassador through the door. Little did the Talak know that with every passing hour, Earth's secret weapons were waking up. The galaxy thought Earth was defenseless. Soon, they would learn how wrong they were. The Talak ambassador Crozan sat across from Chief Diplomat Lee Yunsu in the grand meeting room of the United Nations. His 4 arms were folded across his armored chest. The 2 guards behind him stood perfectly still, their weapons visible, but not raised. Your time is running out, Crozan said. My fleet will arrive in 36 hours. If you have not agreed to our terms by then, they will burn your cities to ash. Lee poured tea into 2 cups with steady hands. Would you care for some tea, Ambassador? It's a traditional Earth beverage. The Talak's eyes narrowed. You seem unusually calm for someone facing extinction. We are a hopeful species, Lee replied. She pushed a tablet toward him. We've reviewed your terms. We have some questions about what you mean by servant status. Crozan tapped the tablet with one of his lower arms. It means you will live but serve. Your resources belong to the hegemony. Your people will work in our mines, factories, and farms. The strong will join our military as frontline soldiers. The smart will work in our labs. This is generous. Most species resist and are simply eliminated. Lee nodded, making notes. And how many other worlds have joined your hegemony this way? 17 systems. None have regretted their choice when they saw the alternative. Behind her diplomatic smile, Lee felt disgust. The Talak were nothing but space bullies preying on worlds they thought couldn't fight back. She glanced at her comm unit. 20 more hours before the Dreadnoughts would be ready. She needed to keep this alien talking. Tell me about these other worlds, she said. We know so little about life beyond Earth. In the command center of Dreadnought Thunderbolt, Captain Kang Daehyun watched his crew take their positions. The ship hummed with power around them, systems coming online one by one. Weapons status? He asked. Kinetic cannons at 85% and rising, reported his weapons officer. Gravity disruptors fully operational. Starwake device at 60% charge. Kang nodded. The Starwake was their most powerful weapon, but it took time to charge fully. It could channel the energy of a dying star, creating a controlled nova that could destroy dozens of enemy ships at once. No one in the galaxy had this technology. Earth's scientists had developed it based on principles found in the crashed alien ship. Engineering reports the dark matter core is stable, his second-in-command announced. We can launch in 5 hours. Good. And the other dreadnoughts? All reporting similar status. Admiral Kim's Volcano will be ready first, followed by Hurricane and Lightning. Kang turned to the tactical display showing the Talek fleet's approach. 27 warships, each capable of destroying a city. The aliens thought they were facing a primitive world with simple rockets and satellites. They had no idea what was waiting for them. Send a message to all crew, Kang ordered. We've trained for this day for years. Earth's survival depends on us. We will not fail. On the dark side of the moon, Commander Park Ji-won had arrived at the hidden lunar base to oversee the final preparations. Dreadnought Lightning was housed in an enormous cavern beneath the lunar surface. Unlike the other ships, Lightning specialized in speed and stealth. It would be their scout and first strike vessel. Park walked through the busy hangar, watching as crew members rushed to their stations and technicians performed final checks on equipment. The air was tense with anticipation. His comm unit beeped. Commander, this is Dr. Choi from Quantum Displacement. We need to see you immediately. Park changed direction, heading toward the science section of the base. Dr. Choi Sunwoo was Earth's leading expert on the space-time manipulation technology that powered the Dreadnoughts' most advanced weapons. If she needed to see him, it was important. He found her in the main lab, surrounded by holographic displays showing complex equations. Her team of scientists worked frantically at various stations. Dr. Choi, what's the problem? Park asked. She looked up, her eyes bright with excitement rather than worry. Not a problem, Commander. A breakthrough. We've improved the efficiency of the gravity disruptors by 40%. That's not possible, Park said. The system has been stable for years. Look here. Choi pointed to one of the displays. We found a way to recycle the energy flow. Instead of each pulse using a fresh charge, we can chain them together. She swiped to another display. It means each ship can fire more pulses before needing to recharge. Park studied the data. Can you implement this before launch? Already working on it, Choi said. Lightning will be the test case. If it works as expected, we'll upload the new configurations to the other ships. Good work, Doctor, Park said. This could give us the edge we need. Back in Geneva, Lee Yun-soo was still keeping the Talek ambassador occupied. They had been talking for 6 hours, and Crozan was growing impatient. Enough questions, the alien said. Your leaders must decide now. Accept our generous terms or face destruction. Lee checked her comm unit. They needed more time. Ambassador, please understand. Our world has never encountered your species before. We have a complex governance system. All major nations must agree to these terms. Your primitive political concerns are not my problem. Crozan stood up, towering over her. I have indulged your questions long enough. You have 12 hours to deliver your world's formal surrender, or my fleet will demonstrate the hegemony's power by destroying your largest city as an example. Lee also stood. Please, Ambassador, at least allow me to arrange a meeting with our full governing council. They're gathering now from around the world. It would be more efficient to address them all at once. Crozan paused, considering. Very well. One final meeting. Then I return to my shuttle and await your surrender from orbit. Thank you for your patience, Lee said, hiding her relief. The council will be ready in 4 hours. As the ambassador was escorted to his waiting area, Lee quickly sent a message to Defense Command. Need more time. Final meeting in 4 hours. The response came back immediately. Dreadnoughts launch in 3 hours. Keep him grounded. In the underwater hangar, Chief Engineer Han Jisoo completed the final diagnostics on Thunderbolt's engines. The massive ship was fully awake now, its systems running at optimal efficiency. All checks complete, she reported to Captain Kang. Thunderbolt is ready to launch. Prepare to open the sea doors, Kang ordered from the bridge. Alert all crew to launch positions. Han moved to the main engineering console. Around her, the DC. Rest of the engineering team secured equipment and prepared for launch. They had practiced this hundreds of times in simulations, but this would be the first actual deployment of a dreadnought. Sea doors opening in 3 minutes, she announced, over the ship's comm system. Outside the hangar, massive doors began to slide apart on the ocean floor. The water pressure at this depth was enormous, but the doors were designed to handle it. As they opened, the first glimpse of the dark ocean beyond became visible. Thunderbolt's engines hummed louder, the dark matter core pulsing with energy. The ship had been built underwater and had never seen the sky. Soon it would not just see the sky, it would reach beyond it to the stars. Han felt a surge of pride. Humanity had worked in secret for decades, preparing for this moment. The galaxy thought Earth was defenseless, but they were about to learn how wrong they were. All stations report ready for launch, she said into her comm. Thunderbolt awaits your command, Captain. On the bridge, Captain Kang gave the order that would change the course of human history. Launch Thunderbolt. Let's show the galaxy what Earth can do. The Pacific Ocean bulged upward. Then it exploded skyward in a massive column of water as Dreadnought Thunderbolt burst through the surface. The kilometer-long ship rose into the air, water cascading off its black hull. Its 4 massive wings, unfolded, glowing with blue energy. All across the world, people stopped and stared at news feeds showing the massive ship. Most had no idea such a thing existed. The secret had been kept from the public for decades. In the Atlantic Ocean, Dreadnought Hurricane broke the surface next, followed by Tsunami in the Indian Ocean. Across the globe, the hidden giants revealed themselves one by one. Beneath the lunar surface, Commander Park gave the final launch order. Release lightning. The ground shook as massive doors opened on the dark side of the moon. Dreadnought Lightning rose from its hiding place, its sleek hull reflecting the distant sunlight. Unlike the other ships, Lightning was built for speed, its design more like an arrow than a spear. On its bridge, Commander Park took his position in the captain's chair. Set course to rendezvous with the fleet at Mars orbit. Maximum speed. Yes, sir, his pilot responded, hands moving over the controls. ETA to Mars orbit, 17 minutes. Lightning's engines flared bright blue, and the ship accelerated away from the moon at incredible speed. No other ship in the known galaxy could match its velocity. In Geneva, the Talek ambassador Crozan was growing more suspicious by the minute. His comm unit had been buzzing with urgent messages from his fleet. Something strange was happening on Earth. What are these energy readings? He demanded, storming into the council chamber where Lee Yunsu and 20 world leaders waited. Your planet is showing power signatures that should not be possible with your technology level. Lee remained calm, though her heart raced. Ambassador, please take a seat. We're ready to discuss your terms. No more discussions, Crozan hissed. Something is happening. My fleet commander wants answers now. The largest screen in the room lit up, showing President Choi. Ambassador Crozan, I am Choi Minji, President of United Earth. We have considered your terms carefully, and, the Talek growled, we decline, President Choi said simply. Crozan's forearms tensed. Then you choose extinction. My fleet will. Your fleet, President Choi interrupted, is about to meet our fleet. For the first time, the Talek looked uncertain. You have no fleet. Our scans showed only primitive satellites and small rockets. Look up, suggested Lee with a small smile. The screen split to show a live feed from space. 7 massive ships moved in formation past Mars, heading toward the approaching Talek fleet. Even on the small screen, it was clear that Earth's ships dwarfed the alien vessels. Crozan stared in shock. Impossible. Your species is pre-FTL. You cannot have such ships. We kept them hidden, Lee explained. Earth has been silent not because we are weak, but because we were watching and learning. The Talek ambassador's skin turned a pale blue. You tricked us. No, Lee corrected. You assumed. We simply didn't correct your assumptions. Crozan reached for his weapon, but security teams were faster. They had him surrounded in seconds, weapons aimed at his head. "You are welcome to stay. And watch," Lee told him coolly, "or we can escort you to a secure room. But you won't be returning to your shuttle or contacting your fleet. The time for diplomacy is over." In space, the Talic fleet commander Vex watched in disbelief as 7 enormous ships approached his position. His fleet of 27 warships had conquered multiple star systems, but he had never seen vessels of this size. "All ships, battle, formation," he ordered. "Prepare main weapons. These humans have hidden technology from us, but they cannot match our experience." His second-in-command looked worried. "Sir, energy readings from the Earth ships are unusual. They appear to be using some form of dark matter technology." "Impossible," Vex dismissed. "No species has successfully weaponized dark matter. Continue approach and prepare to fire on my command." Admiral Kim Hyejin stood on the bridge of Dreadnought Volcano, watching the Talic fleet arrange itself in attack formation. The alien ships were impressive by most standards, but not compared to a dreadnought. "All ships report ready, Admiral," her communications officer said. Kim nodded. "Open a channel to all dreadnoughts." When the channel was open, she spoke clearly. "This is Admiral Kim. For decades, we prepared for this day. Humanity built these ships hoping we would never need to use them, but the Talic have given us no choice. They came to our home expecting easy conquest. Instead, they will find Earth's fury. Execute Attack Plan Phoenix." The 7 dreadnoughts spread out, each taking position to target a section of the Talic fleet. On Thunderbolt, Captain Kang gave his orders. "Target the lead ships, gravity disruptors at full power." The front of Thunderbolt opened like a blooming flower, revealing a massive cannon. Energy swirled at its center, distorting the space around it. "Fire," Kang ordered. The gravity disruptor fired, sending a pulse of concentrated gravitational force toward the Talic ships. When it hit, it didn't damage the ships directly. Instead, it created a small, temporary black hole. 3 Talic warships were caught in its pull, their hulls crumpling under the immense gravitational force before they were torn apart. From Dreadnought Lightning, Commander Park watched as the Talic fleet began to fire back. Energy beams lanced out from their ships, striking Hurricane's hull. The shots were absorbed by the ship's special coating, causing minimal damage. "All ships, Phase 2, Park ordered. "Lightning, execute the thunderclap maneuver." His ship accelerated. Suddenly, moving faster than the Talic sensors could track, Lightning disappeared from their scopes only to reappear behind their rear guard. "Quantum missiles armed," reported his weapons officer. "Fire at will," Park commanded. Lightning released dozens of small missiles that phased in and out of normal space as they flew, making them impossible to shoot down. They struck 5 Talic ships simultaneously, detonating with focused energy that bypassed shields and armor. On Earth, people watched the battle through telescopes and space agency feeds. What they saw amazed them. Humanity's secret ships were dominating the alien fleet that had come to conquer them. In the council chamber, Lee Yunsu and the world leaders observed the battle on the large screen. The Talic ambassador sat in restraints, his forearms bound, watching his fleet being systematically destroyed. "You should have researched us better," Lee told him quietly. "Humans have always been good at keeping secrets and preparing for threats." "The hegemony will send more ships," Crozan warned. "This victory will not save you," President Choi smiled. "By the time they arrive, our next generation of ships will be ready. The 7 you see are just the beginning." On the screen, Dreadnought Volcano moved into position at the center of the battlefield. Its hull opened, revealing a massive array of technology unlike anything seen before. "What is that?" one of the world leaders asked. "The Starwake device," Lee explained. "You might want to shield your eyes." On Volcano's bridge, Admiral Kim gave the order. "Activate Starwake. Target the Talic command ship." The device powered up, drawing energy from a miniature artificial star in the ship's core. Then it released that energy in a controlled burst that mimicked a small supernova. Light brighter than 1,000 suns erupted from Volcano. When it faded, the center of the Talic fleet was gone. 12 ships completely vaporized, others damaged, beyond repair. The battle was over almost as quickly as it had begun. Of the 27 Talek ships, only 4 survived, all critically damaged and unable to flee. Admiral Kim opened a channel to all remaining Talek ships. "This is Admiral Kim Hyejin of Earth Fleet. Your invasion has failed. Your ambassador is our prisoner. Surrender now or be destroyed." One by one, the surviving Talek ships powered down their weapons. The first interstellar battle in Earth's history was over. And across the galaxy, the news began to spread. The silent planet Earth wasn't defenseless after all. Their dreadnoughts had awakened the stars with their power, and the galaxy would never be the same. 3 days after the battle, Admiral Kim Hyejin stood on the observation deck of Dreadnought Volcano, watching as teams worked to collect the remains of Talek ships. Earth scientists were eager to study the alien technology, even though most of it was less advanced than their own. "Admiral, we're receiving another transmission," her communications officer reported. "This one's from the Galactic Council." Kim raised an eyebrow. The Galactic Council had ignored Earth's attempts at contact for decades. Now they couldn't send messages fast enough. "Put it through," she ordered. A holographic image appeared, showing a tall, slender alien with silver skin and large eyes. "This is High Counselor Zirin of the Galactic Council. We wish to formally invite Earth to join our assembly of civilized worlds." Kim kept her face neutral. "High Counselor, this is Admiral Kim of Earth Fleet. Thank you for your invitation. I will relay it to our government." "We are surprised by your technological advancement," the counselor continued. "Previous assessments of Earth classified your world as pre-FTL. We prefer it that way," Kim replied. "Earth has been watching the galaxy for some time. We didn't like what we saw, so we prepared quietly." The counselor looked uncomfortable. "The council would be interested in discussing potential technology sharing arrangements." "I'm sure they would," Kim said dryly. "As I said, I'll relay your message to our leaders. Volcano out." She cut the transmission and turned to her second-in-command. "Send this to President Choi with a note. The vultures are circling." In Geneva, Chief Diplomat Lee Yun-soo faced a different kind of challenge. Representatives from 17 alien species had arrived in the past 2 days, all suddenly eager to establish relations with Earth. "The Viridian Collective offers trade in rare minerals," one blue-skinned alien said. "We've seen Earth uses dark matter technology. We can supply the necessary raw materials." "The Trosian Empire extends the hand of friendship," another said. "Our military would welcome joint exercises with your impressive fleet." Lee smiled politely at all of them, promising nothing. Until yesterday, none of these species had bothered to answer Earth's transmissions. Now they couldn't arrive fast enough. President Choi entered the room and everyone fell silent. She surveyed the gathering of alien representatives with a cool gaze. "Welcome to Earth," she said. "It seems our planet has suddenly become very popular." The aliens shifted uncomfortably. One stepped forward, a reptilian being with scales that changed color as it spoke. "Supreme Leader Choi, I am Ambassador Krell of the Axinar Federation. We were unaware of Earth's true capabilities. The Talek hegemony has been a menace to the galaxy for centuries. Your victory over them has changed the balance of power." "Has it?" Choi asked, taking a seat. "Or has it simply revealed what was already true?" Lee watched with admiration as the president handled the aliens with firm confidence. Earth was no longer a beggar at the galactic table. Now they were setting the terms. On Dreadnought Lightning, Commander Park Jae-won reviewed the data from the battle. His ship had performed beyond expectations thanks to Dr. Choi's improvements to the gravity disruptors. His comm unit beeped. "Commander, we've detected unusual activity at the edge of the solar system," his sensor officer reported. "Multiple FTL signatures just appeared." Park frowned. "Hostile?" "Unknown, sir. But they're not approaching. They seem to be observing." "Put Lightning on alert status," Park ordered, "and contact the other dreadnoughts. I want a patrol sent." To investigate these visitors, he pulled up the sensor data on his screen. 8 vessels of different designs had taken positions just beyond Pluto's orbit. They weren't hiding, but they weren't announcing themselves either. More curious neighbors, Park muttered. Earth's display of power had drawn attention from across the galaxy. Some of it was diplomatic, some commercial, and some, like these ships, more mysterious. "Sir," his communications officer called, "we're receiving a transmission from one of the vessels, audio only." "Let's hear it," Park said. A deep rumbling voice filled the bridge. "People of Earth, we have watched your emergence. Impressive. The old ones would like to meet." The transmission ended as abruptly as it had begun. Park's officers looked at each other in confusion. "The old ones?" one asked. "Send this to command immediately," Park ordered. "And prepare Lightning for departure. Looks like we have more introductions to make." At Earth Defense Command, Captain Yoon had been promoted to acting commander while Park was in space. She stared at the message that had just arrived from Lightning. "The old ones," she repeated. "We have no records of any species using that name." Dr. Choi Sunwoo, who had been called in to consult, looked thoughtful. "In the data we recovered from the Antarctic crash site, there were references to ancient species that had achieved technological singularity. Most younger species consider them myths." "You think these old ones are real?" Yoon asked. "I think," Dr. Choi said carefully, "that our use of dark matter technology and the Starwake device may have drawn attention from more than just our galactic neighbors. We may have signaled our presence to much older civilizations." Yoon considered this. "Are they a threat?" "Unknown," Dr. Choi admitted. "But if they wanted to harm us, 8 ships wouldn't be enough. I believe they're genuinely curious. Earth has done something remarkable. We've leaped from being considered a primitive world to demonstrating technology that rivals or exceeds the most advanced known species." Yoon nodded. "I'll inform President Choi. In the meantime, tell Commander Park to maintain a safe distance but accept communication if they offer it." On Dreadnought Thunderbolt, Captain Kang received new orders from Earth. His ship would join Lightning to investigate the mysterious observers at the edge of the solar system. Chief Engineer Han, "Are we ready for deep space?" he asked over the comm. "All systems green, Captain," Han Jisoo replied from engineering. "The dark matter core is stable and fuel reserves are at 97%. Good. Set course for the Kuiper Belt. We launch in 30 minutes. As his crew prepared the ship, Kang studied the limited data they had on the mysterious visitors. Their ships were unlike any in Earth's database, with designs that seemed to defy conventional physics. "Sir," his second-in-command said quietly, "the crew is talking about these old ones. Some are worried we've attracted attention from something we're not ready to face." Kang nodded. "It's a valid concern. But remember, a week ago, the galaxy thought we were defenseless. Now they know we're not. Whatever these old ones are, they'll find the same truth. Earth doesn't start fights, but we finish them." Back in Geneva, as night fell, Lee Yoon-soo stood on the balcony of her office, looking up at the stars. They seemed different now. Not distant points of light, but places where other beings lived, places that were now watching Earth with new eyes. Her comm unit beeped with a message from President Choi. New development. Possible contact with advanced species. "At System Edge, diplomatic team needed," Lee smiled. The galaxy was getting more interesting by the day. Earth had been silent for so long, building its strength in secret. Now they had announced themselves with the thunder of dreadnoughts and the light of an artificial supernova, and the stars had heard them. The stars were answering back. Whatever came next, diplomatic relations, trade agreements, or even new threats, Earth was ready. Their dreadnoughts had awakened the stars, and humanity was stepping onto the galactic stage not as servants or victims, but as equals, perhaps even as leaders. For Lee Yoon-soo, for all of Earth's hidden defenders, a new chapter was beginning, and the galaxy would never be the same. Dreadnoughts, Lightning and Thunderbolt approached the edge of the solar system, where the 8 mysterious ships waited. The alien vessels were unlike anything humans had seen before. They seemed to shimmer between states, sometimes solid, sometimes more like energy. On Lightning's bridge, Commander Park Ji-won studied the strange ships with a mixture of caution and wonder. "Maintain distance at 5,000 kilometers," he ordered. "Keep weapon systems on standby but not active." "Commander," his communications officer called. "We're receiving a transmission. They're requesting to send a representative aboard." Park exchanged glances with his second-in-command. This wasn't in any first contact protocol they had trained for. "Tell them we accept," Park decided. "But only one representative, and they must come unarmed." 20 minutes later, Park stood in Lightning's main hangar as a small shuttle approached, from the largest of the alien ships. The shuttle had no visible propulsion system. It simply moved through space as if it were part of it. Captain Kang's voice came through Park's comm unit from Thunderbolt. "We're monitoring the situation. Be careful, Commander." The shuttle entered the hangar and settled gently on the deck. Its hull rippled like water, then a doorway formed in its side. A tall figure stepped out. The being looked almost human, except for skin that glowed with a he. Soft blue light and eyes that contained what looked like galaxies. It wore simple robes that seemed to be made of flowing starlight. "I am Alara," the being said in perfect Korean. "Observer for the Council of Ancients." Park bowed slightly. "Commander Park Ji-won of Earth." "Your species has surprised us," Alara said, walking forward with fluid grace. "We've watched your world for thousands of years. Until recently, we believed you were at least a century away from achieving quantum displacement technology." "We had help," Park admitted. "A crashed ship in Antarctica." Ilara nodded. "Yes, the Seeker. We wondered what happened to it. Its pilot was studying your early civilizations when it malfunctioned." "You knew about the crash?" Park asked, surprised. "The ancients know many things, Commander. We watch, we observe, but we rarely interfere. Your species took technology you didn't fully understand and improved upon it in ways its original creators never imagined. This is, rare." Park felt a chill run down his spine. "Are you here to take this technology back?" Alara's galaxy eyes seemed to twinkle. "No. What your people have created belongs to Earth. We are here because your Starwake device sent ripples through the fabric of reality that we haven't felt in millennia. The ancients wish to extend an invitation." In Geneva, a special meeting of Earth's leaders was underway. President Choi presided over representatives from every nation as they discussed humanity's new place in the galaxy. "The Galactic Council has formally invited Earth to join as a full member," Chief Diplomat Lee reported. "They've also offered us the unusual privilege of bypassing the normal probationary period." "How generous of them," President Choi said dryly, "after ignoring us for decades." "There's more," Lee continued. "The Talek hegemony has sued for peace. Their leadership council is offering reparations to avoid further conflict." Minister of Defense General Song stood up. "We should accept neither offer too quickly. The galaxy now knows our strength, but we should not rush into alliances or peace treaties without careful consideration." The meeting was interrupted when an aide hurried in and whispered to President Choi. Her eyes widened slightly. "It seems we have an even more interesting development," she told the assembly. "Commander Park has made contact with representatives of something called the Council of Ancients. They're requesting a formal meeting here on Earth." The room erupted in excited conversation. Dr. Choi Sunwoo, who had been invited to attend as a scientific advisor, spoke up. "If these truly are the ancients of galactic legend, this is unprecedented. They're said to be millions of years ahead of other civilizations with technology indistinguishable from magic." "And they want to meet with us?" someone asked. "Why?" "Commander Park's report indicates they were impressed by our adaptation of quantum technology," President Choi explained, "particularly the Starwake device." Lee Yun-soo nodded thoughtfully. "From a diplomatic perspective, this could change everything. If Earth has attracted the attention of these ancients, the Galactic Council and other powers will view us very differently." "They already do," General Song pointed out. "Our dreadnoughts have seen to that." 3 days later, Admiral Kim Hee-jin stood with Commander Park and Captain Kang in the Great Hall of the United Nations building. The room had been adapted for the historic meeting about to take place. World leaders and key military personnel filled the seats, all watching as three representatives of the ancients materialized in the center of the room. Ilara was accompanied by two other beings, one that appeared to be made of living crystal, and another that seemed to shift between forms as if unable to decide on a single shape. "People of Earth," Ilara began, her voice carrying easily through the hall. "We come as representatives of the oldest civilizations in this galaxy. For eons, we have watched younger species emerge, develop, and sometimes destroy themselves. Earth has followed an unusual path." The crystalline being spoke next, its voice like chimes in the wind. "Your world chose silence and secrecy while building great power. This shows wisdom rare in young species." The shifting being added, "And you created the Starwake technology, something only 3 other civilizations have achieved in the history of this galaxy." President Choi stepped forward. "We are honored by your visit. Earth has only recently revealed itself to the galaxy, but we hope to be a positive force in cosmic affairs." Ilara nodded. "It is for this reason we extend an invitation. The Council of Ancients has not admitted a new member in 50,000 years. We offer Earth observer status with the potential for full membership in time." A murmur ran through the assembly. Dr. Choi leaned forward in her seat, eyes wide with amazement. "This is an honor we did not expect," President Choi said carefully. "What would this relationship entail?" "Knowledge," said the crystal being. "Access to technologies and sciences beyond what you have imagined. And responsibility," added the shifting one. "The power to create also brings the duty to protect." Ilara gestured, and a small object appeared floating before President Choi, a sphere that seemed to contain a miniature galaxy. "This is a beacon," Ilara explained. "It allows direct communication with the Council. Consider our offer carefully. We will await your decision." 1 month later, Admiral Kim stood on the observation deck of the newly completed space station Harmony. Below her, Earth shone blue and beautiful. Around her, representatives from 27 alien species mingled with human diplomats and scientists. "Quite a change from a few weeks ago," Lee Yunsu said, joining her at the window. Kim nodded. "From ignored to the center of galactic politics, all because we built ships everyone thought we couldn't build." "Not just the ships," Lee corrected. "It was our patience, our willingness to watch and wait rather than announce ourselves too soon." In the distance, Kim could see Dreadnoughts Thunderbolt and Hurricane patrolling near Mars. Beyond them, at the edge of visibility, a shimmering vessel of the Ancients maintained its silent vigil. Earth had accepted observer status with the Council of Ancients. At the same time, they had joined the Galactic Council with special provisions that protected Earth's independence. The Talic hegemony had signed a formal peace treaty after paying significant reparations, and beneath Jupiter's clouds, the secret shipyards were building 20 more dreadnoughts, each more advanced than the first 7. "What do you think happens next?" Lee asked softly. Kim smiled. "I think we explore. We learn. We make allies and face new challenges. The galaxy thought Earth was defenseless until our dreadnoughts woke the stars. Now they know better." As if to emphasize her point, a flash of light caught their attention. In the distance, Dreadnought Lightning was testing its improved gravity disruptors, creating beautiful ripples in the fabric of space. "And the stars," Kim added, "will never forget Earth again." In the vast darkness of space, the light of humanity had finally shown its true brightness. Not just with the power of dreadnoughts, but with the ingenuity, patience, and determination that had always defined the human spirit. The galaxy had been changed forever, and Earth, once thought defenseless, now stood as a new power among the stars.